Hi, thank you for joining me today. This is Yoga with Yoda, my dog, or Yoga with Joan Bossy. I'm Joan, and this is Yoda. We're here to offer you some in-studio yoga in your home. And I have free weekly videos every week, a new one. And you can subscribe to be reminded of those if you would like. Today, for our practice, we have a great overall body stretch. You can join me with a strap, maybe a tie, or nothing at all. You don't need it. You could just use your hands. You can also grab a block if you'd like to bring the earth to you for some of the positions. And let's get started. We're going to get started on our backs. So let's come down onto our back. Excuse me, baby. And you want to come in your bed? You want to come in your bed and sit? Come lay down. Good boy. So we're going to begin down. And just let yourself sink into the mat, closing your eyes or a soft gaze up. Maybe having the knees touching, relaxed. Let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose, pausing for a beat at the top, and exhaling through the mouth or nose. Pausing for a beat at the bottom and inhaling. Pause and exhale. And continuing to breathe in and out of the nose if that feels good for you today. Feeling your feet touching the mat. Feeling the earth supporting you. Letting everything go that you did before yoga today. And letting everything go that you still need to do. Without judgment, notice how your body feels today. Notice how your mind feels. Is it thinking of many things, or is it easily coming down? No judgment, whatever it is, let it be that way. Setting a small goal or intention for your practice today, maybe a positive word. And whatever that is, I wish that for you too. And we'll let the eyes begin to open if they were closed. We'll bring the right ankle across the left thigh. Staying right here if this is enough, pushing into that leg or drawing that knee towards you. For a few breaths here, in and out. Flexing both feet. Letting that leg come down, bringing the left ankle across the right thigh and staying right here, pushing gently into that thigh if that's enough. Drawing that leg towards you, flexing both feet. And holding where you feel that moderate to strong stretch. Breathe into that tension. Beautiful. Letting that leg come down. And we'll gently hold the backs of the thighs. And you can roll forward and backward, massaging the back to come up, or just roll to one side, whatever is easier for you. Coming to a cross-legged position on your mat. We'll bring the arms out to the side, inhaling up. And exhaling the hands together and down. We'll do this again, this time inhaling up. And this time letting the right arm come to the left knee. Left arm comes behind as we twist over to the left, lifting the chest. Looking over that left shoulder. And just a gentle twist here. We're still warming up. And we'll take another breath here, in and out. Leaving that right hand on the left knee, we'll take the left arm up. On that inhale, stretching overhead, keeping that left sits bone down, stretching over to the right. Let the head and neck relax. Maybe it feels good for you to take a look up. I invite you to do that, opening up the chest a little more, or just letting the head release as we stretch. We'll take another breath here. And gently bringing that left arm back down. Both arms come to the side as we inhale up again. Exhaling, left arm over to the opposite knee, right arm behind, twisting to the right this time. Staying nice and tall, crown of the head, reaching up towards the sky as we look over to the right. Beautiful. We'll unwind from here, taking the right arm up, keeping that left arm on that knee. Taking our nice side stretch on the other side. And this time making sure that right sits bone stays down. Take another breath here. Reaching with those fingertips and then sending that arm down. We'll bring both hands over the left knee, walking them out diagonally as we fold over. Maybe it's a lean like this, or maybe your chest drops down your head. It doesn't matter as long as you feel a stretch somewhere down in the torso area, maybe the hip, legs. Reaching with that chest and then letting everything go down. Another breath here. Walking back up, we'll go to the other side, finding that right knee, walking out diagonally with the fingertips, leaning. Holding over the right knee any amount. Tuning in to where you feel it in your body. Take another inhale and exhale. Letting the shoulders drop down. Head releases. And then we'll come back up. This time we'll fold to the middle and finding that sweet spot where you feel a stretch somewhere in that hip, lower back area, even the upper back, wherever you feel it. Breathe into it. Another breath here. Softening the face. Coming back up. We'll find that neutral chin, maybe gently tucked in, crown of the head long. Hands can come to the knees as we roll the shoulders up and back and down. One time, Keeping those shoulders stable and still as we take that right ear and just let it drop towards that shoulder. Noticing a stretch somewhere in the neck as we just release here. Option, I invite you, if you feel like it, to crawl that left hand out on the mat, fingertips reaching, maybe in the air a bit. As you add that shoulder to that neck stretch, or not, again, just staying here is fine. Many people like to add a very light weight with the hand, drawing the ear towards that shoulder. I'll take another breath, really enjoying this delicious stretch here. And we'll let that head come up, dropping the chin gently, maybe a look up, reaching the chest up, and then gently rounding the spine as we take a seated cat here. Maybe the hands interlace, sending the arms out if that feels good. And then we'll send the chest back up again in cow. Seated cow. Good. And coming back down, finding that neutral chin level, sending that left ear to the left shoulder. That shoulder wants to come to the ear. Just let it stay where it is. I invite you to crawl the right fingers out on the mat a bit, feeling a stretch. And if you do add the hand to the head, it's a very lightweight, not straining or wrenching the neck in any way, just a very lightweight. Good. We'll take another breath here. As we begin to let that head float back up, dropping the chin, rounding the spine into cat. Core set of muscles called the abs pull in, sending the chest up, head lifts for cow. And coming back down, we'll take our shoulder stretch here. But before we do, let's change the cross of our legs, sending that left arm out. As it comes across the body, we'll hook the right forearm. Let that shoulder release down here as you draw that arm, that right arm, helping the left arm come closer. Nice and tall in the crown. Breathing here. Take another breath, getting those shoulders stretched out for what we're going to do today. Good. We'll release that, letting the arms come out, lifting the chest. Inhale. Exhale. Hands come together, interlacing the fingers, palms move away as we stretch and round the spine into a cat here. And then sending the chest back up, thumbs up, inhale. And hands come back to the knees. We'll get ready for the other side. Right arm, thumb up, comes across. And we draw that left arm, letting it drop. Let that shoulder, that right shoulder drop as you draw it towards you. So drawing and dropping at the same time, feeling a stretch somewhere in that right shoulder. Breathing into it. We're going to take another full breath. Good. And shake it out a little bit. And we'll come to our hands and knees for tabletop. Setting up wrists under shoulders, knees, hips width distance apart as we point that right toe out behind us, lifting that leg, flexing that toes down as we release the left arm up and stretch in opposite directions. And on the next breath, we're going to inhale, elbow to knee. Exhale, back out. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. 2 more times. And you can move at your own pace if that feels good for you. And when you reach your last one, reach, 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 foot and hand in opposite directions, letting that hand come down, leg comes down. Get ready for the other side. The left leg points the toe on the ground, and we lift from the inner thigh, flexing that foot as we reach out with it, adding the right arm for a balance. I invite you, if you would like to, as we reach, drawing the abs, activating them tighter, just activating them as we work here. Inhale, elbow towards knee. Exhale, back out. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, you got this. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. A couple more times. Last time. And really gently reach here again, relaxing the neck as you reach with the arm, reach with the heel. Nice stretch for the body here. Let the hand come down and leg comes down. We'll turn those toes under. Maybe move the hands up a half a handprint as we push into all four fingers and thumbs, sending the hips up high. Downward dog. And maybe your knees are very bent, or maybe the heels are reaching for the floor, beginning to straighten the legs. We're all different. Maybe some of us have already stretched or moved around today, or maybe not. Bending the knees one at a time, opening up those calf muscles, stretching them, and then coming to stillness. We'll lift the right leg up behind us on the inhale, and we'll exhale the knee through. Foot comes between the hands, right knee comes down. As we reach the arms up, opening up the chest, lifting, feet grounding us. Hands can also be right here on your thigh as you gently take a little lean forward, knees over the ankle. Really stretching out that hip. And take another breath here. And then before we release this position, we're going to drop the right arm, taking a gentle lean, and you can place your hand on a block or the floor. This is going to get a little more into the psoas and the hip. Nice, beautiful stretch here. Another breath. Coming back up with those arms, we'll inhale them, and then exhale them to the inside of that foot as we heel toe the right foot to the right side of the mat for lizard pose. You can come down onto your elbows if you need more, or your hands, maybe even resting on a block. Trying out different things, seeing where you get the most of a stretch for yourself. 2 more breaths in this beautiful lizard pose, opening up that hip. Steady breath. And if you're on your elbows or have a block, you can remove it or come to your hands, heel toeing your foot back to the center. And we'll take the right leg, let it come back to plank. Knees can be down or up as we take our plank. Inhale, exhale slowly all the way to the ground. Beautiful. Hands come to this under the shoulders to the side ribs, peeling the chest up to cobra. Using those back muscles, exhaling back to either downward dog or child's pose. Pausing here for a breath. And if you're in child's, you can meet me in downward dog. We'll be lifting on our next inhale, the left leg, 3-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale that leg through to the hands, letting the right knee come down this time. Arms begin to lift, elbows straight arms as we gently look either up or straight ahead, relaxing the neck. Feeling a stretch somewhere in your leg, your hip. Take another breath here. Letting that left arm drop as we take the right hand and lean a bit towards the left. Maybe noticing a difference in the stretch. Maybe you feel it a little deeper in the hip. Beautiful. Reaching back up, we'll inhale. And exhale the hands to the inside of the left foot as we heel toe to the left. Coming into lizard, elbows or on hands as we draw the chest forward. Breathing and releasing here. This is an excellent hip opener, this lizard pose. And maybe you're making use of the block. We have 2 more breaths here. Letting that head just go as we draw the chest forward. Removing that block or coming to your hands, heel toeing the foot towards the center, hands frame the foot, finding plank, inhaling and exhaling. And you can come all the way down or find a half of a push-up, chaturanga. Inhaling to your back bend of choice. Maybe it's upward dog this time. Knees are off the floor, elbows are straightened. Exhaling back to our downward dog or child's. Pausing here and breathing. Coming back to your intention for yoga today. Seeing it to yourself. Beautiful. Coming back to downward dog if you're in child's. Right leg lifts, inhale. We'll send that foot planted between the hands. Coming to warrior 1. So both feet are planted forward as possible. Hips are forward. Arms reach up. Chest lifted. Shoulders drop down. Relax. Right knee is tracking to the right. Another breath here. And our next breath, we're going to open a warrior 2. Inhale and exhale, opening up the back foot. Hips are now pointed towards the side. Eye gaze towards the right, middle fingers. Shifting our palm up, reverse that warrior. Returning to warrior 2. And sometimes you might want to move your back foot in a little for triangle. We'll be coming to triangle. Straightening that front leg. Reaching till you can't reach anymore. Dropping that right arm. Left arm reaches out. Muscles between the ribs reaching for the ceiling, the upper ribs. Eye gaze can be down or up. Or even just to the side. Either way. 2 more breaths. We're going to be taking flight after this, reaching towards half moon pose. So our hand or our block is going to be placed to the right side of the pinky toe. Hand can be on a block or the earth as we bring our weight to our front foot, lifting the left foot up, opening up that hip, that left hip, so that the toes are pointed over to the left. Eye gaze can be up or down or off to the side. Take another 2 breaths here. And then we'll gently bring the back foot down, planting it, forward folding, holding the elbows. 2 more breaths. Noticing how we just stretch that right side, that left hip. We'll bend the knees, lifting up. Hands come to the heart. Take a breath here. We'll take a flow, inhale up, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, hands plant, finding plank. Inhale, exhale, moving forward. Chaturanga, upward dog or cobra. Exhale to downward dog. Pausing here. On your next breath, your left leg's gonna lift. Inhale. We'll exhale in between the hands, finding warrior one. Both hips are pointing forward. Front knee is tracking left over the ankle. Lifting the chest, relaxing the shoulders and the neck. You got this. And on the next breath, we'll transition to warrior two. Inhale. Exhale to warrior two. Back foot turns out. Find your stance. Flipping the front arm, we'll find that reverse warrior. Relaxing the back arm. Transition, warrior two. Triangle, straightening the front leg. Relaxing the neck as we reach up with the intercostal muscles of the right. On the right side here, the ribs reaching up. Maybe your hand is near your shin or on a block. Really feel your feet on the floor, thighs drawing together. We'll transition to our beautiful half moon pose. Hand plants on a block to the left of the pinky toe, foot in the front. Right hip opens up as we turn the toes open to the right. Turning those ribs open like we did in triangle. Another full breath. Beautiful. We'll drop that right arm, dropping the foot, coming to our forward fold. You can hold the elbows, maybe take the big toes with the first 2 fingers. Inhaling your elbows straight. Exhaling them off to the side as we draw the chest closer to those thighs. Releasing our elbows or our toes, we rise, rooting down and reaching out of the waist with those hands come together to the heart. Pausing here. Coming back to our intention for yoga. We'll begin to take a flow by reaching up, inhale, finding our forward fold. Inhale, exhale. You can jump to plank or find plank. Exhaling to chaturanga, finding your back bend of choice. Inhale, exhale. Downward dog or child's pose. Feel your body alive, your heart beating. Feel your fingers pushing into the floor. We'll inhale the left leg up. Bending that knee. We're just gonna open the hips here a little bit. and then dropping that leg. We'll do the other side, lifting the right, bending that knee. We're just loosening up a little bit here. Bending one knee and then the other. On our next breath, we're going to release that right leg behind us, heel pulling up and away from the body. Inhale. And we'll exhale it through, coming to a runner's lunge here. So hands can be on blocks or the earth. As we look forward on the ground, the back knee can stay lifted. And we begin to walk our hands over to the left. And we're going to be coming into our wide angle forward fold, but I'll turn around so you could see me. So walking here, we'll bring our hands to our hips as we come up, making sure our toes are parallel, nice and wide, or maybe toed in a bit. As we inhale, reach up, exhale, forward fold. Now, you can stay here with your hands dangling or walk your fingers deeper between your legs as you're gently as the crown of your head reaches for the floor. Breathing. Maybe the elbows bend as your head reaches towards that floor. Or maybe your hands are just dangling down. Another breath. We'll walk the hands over to the left, bending the left knee, looking the right, coming to the right heel of the opposite foot. Hands can stay on the ground or come to namaste hands, breathing here, balancing, lifting the heart. And then we'll go to the other side, walking ourselves over to the right, bending that right knee, coming to the heel of the opposite foot. Nice opening here in the inner thighs. And then dropping those hands, walking back out in front. Inhale to the fingertips, halfway lift. Exhale your hands to your waist as we rise. Turning our toes to the far corners of the mat, reaching up. Exhale, bend the knees to goddess. Tailbone shoots straight down. Right arm wraps on top of the left for ego arms here. You can hold your shoulders or stretch your shoulders by reaching your eagle arms up, a little out. And then gently drawing them down and back up. Let's do this again, drawing the elbows down and then gently reaching up and then bringing the elbows down. Arms are eagle. Another breath here. Legs are working hard. Releasing the arms, straightening the legs. Exhale the hands to the heart. As we come back to the front of our mat, take a flow. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Hands frame the feet as we come back to plank. You can either jump back or step back. Exhaling all the way down or to your chaturanga, reaching up with your back bend of choice. And exhaling, downward dog or child's. 3 deep breaths. Body engaged. Chest reaching for the thighs if you're in downward dog. And on the next breath, we'll inhale the left leg this time. Exhaling it through, runner's lunge. Breath here. Walking the hands over to the right, turning the feet. Inhaling hands to the waist as we rise, getting those feet ready for our forward fold. This time we'll bring the arms behind as we reach up, inhale, shoulder stretch here. Hands reach down as we look up. Exhaling ourselves forward, crown of the head, reaching for the floor. Nice shoulder stretch here. If you chose this way to come down, again, take what you need today. Letting those arms walk backwards between the legs as we bend the elbows, reaching the crown of the head towards the floor, drawing those inner thighs together. Legs are activated, supporting you. And another breath. We'll gently walk the hands to the left, coming to our pose here, letting the inner thigh open here. Hands come together. And again, your foot can be up with your heel up. Your foot can be down facing forward for a different type of foot stretch here. And we're letting our hands begin to walk to the other side. And maybe you stay here or you bend that right knee. Maybe coming to the heel or letting the foot stay down of the left foot. Whatever feels good for you today. Breathing in energy. Exhaling worry, anxiety, fear. Walking the hands back to the center. Walking out in front, inhale to the fingertips, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come to the waist as we rise. Turning the toes out to the far corners for our goddess pose. Inhale up. Exhale, taking our goddess pose, bending those knees. Tailbone shooting straight down. Left arm over the right this time for eagle arms. And you can stay right here. You can have your hands on your shoulders. And if you have eagle arms, you can gently draw those hands forward, elbows closer to the body. And then back, maybe lifting up if that feels good for your shoulders. And then down. Nice shoulder stretch here. Take another breath, really feeling those feet and pushing into the ground, rooting you there. And then letting go of the arms, straightening the legs, reaching up, hands come together and to the heart. Heel toeing our feet in, coming to the front of our mat. Breath here. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, fold. Coming to plank, exhaling down. Finding our back bend of choice. And exhaling, this time to child's pose. As we ground our head and our shoulders down. Breathing here. From here, we're coming to downward dog. I promise, last downward dog. Reach that right leg up. Exhale the knee to the right wrist and the foot to the left wrist as we come into pigeon. Long back leg, left hip is forward as best as possible, along with the right. If you're going to roll to your side, you can place a block here to hold yourself up or a pillow. Reach up, inhale, chest lifts as we fold forward. Beautiful hip stretch here. Finding a block to place your hands on, your forehead, or coming down onto the earth, breathing. See if you can let yourself sink in, release. making sure that back leg is straight, maybe activating it. And begin to lift the head, moving the block or crawling your hands back up. Inhaling, chest lifts. And then exhale, sending that leg back and through. Maybe bending it and opening it a couple times, stretching it out. And we'll bend one knee and then the other in downward dog. Lifting the left leg on your next inhale. Exhaling it through. Foot to the right wrist, knee to the left. Finding that long back leg. Hips are as forward as possible as we square them off. Taking a look back at that leg. And this side might be different. Again, the heel can be close to the body for less of a stretch, or it could be more square with the leg could be more square with the front of the mat, more parallel with it, depending on what you need on this side. And then sending yourself forward again, finding that pigeon, wherever that is for you, adjusting if you need to. One side might be easier than the other. That's normal. Nice, slow, steady breaths in and out. Breathing in energy. Exhaling fear. Exhaling anxiety. Another breath here. Beginning to lift the chest back up. Finding your stance here with your hands on the mat, sending that leg through. Reaching out, maybe bending and straightening the knee. Bending one knee and the other in downward dog. We'll walk the feet in, coming to our seated position. Coming down onto the mat, using your ab muscles or holding the backs of your thighs. Drawing one knee in, letting both knees come in first. We'll take a little rock from side to side or a stillness as you draw the knees in. Take a breath here. We'll let that left leg go long. Right leg is gently coming in. And keeping your pelvis as still as possible, take that bent knee, bring it to the right. So we're painting a circle on the ceiling with our knee, bringing it away from us, forward, and then to the left. We'll take 3 hip circles, nice and slow, keeping our pelvis still as best as possible. Another thing yoga does is really make us more bodily aware of where and how muscles are and work. Drawing that right knee in again. Take a breath here. And then we'll go the other direction, circling 3 slow hip circles. Really using your core muscles. Taking 3 or 4 on this side. And when you're finished, drawing that knee in again. Breath here, nice stretch. Letting that leg straight into the ceiling, flexing the heel as we take our strap or just use your hands You could put the strap along the ball of the foot. That front part of the wider part of the foot, draw the leg in and just hold. Breathing here. Finding that stretch in the hamstring. Beautiful. Releasing that stretch. Letting ourselves draw both knees in, wide first. And then in, we'll let that right leg go long, drawing that left knee in. And if this is too much of a stretch, you could always bend that knee, the right knee, finding what feels good for you. And then we'll begin to make those hip circles, keeping that pelvis as still as possible. Go to the right and around. One time. 2 times, and you can move at your own pace, taking 3 or 4 circles. Keeping that pelvis still as best as possible. Draw that knee in again, that left knee. And you can go the other direction, letting that knee come to the left and around. Take your 3 to 4 circles, really feeling the hip. And you might hear some clicks or pops. That's totally normal. Beautiful. Nice range of motion. You can let that leg come up. You can put the strap around the ball of the foot, or you could grab the big toe, even hold the foot, the calf muscle, or even the back of the thigh as we draw the leg in, feeling for a moderate to strong stretch. Hold there, breathe. You've done a lot of work today. Wonderful job. Another full inhale and exhale. Wonderful. Releasing that leg, knees come in. We'll take our happy baby, feeling for the outside ankles, the outside of the feet, pressing into those feet as we draw those knees in, taking a nice stretch here. Breathing. Maybe a rock from side to side as we open those hips up a little more. One more breath, in and out. We'll release those feet, bringing the soles of the feet together, one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart, as we think of 3 things we're grateful for today as we come to a close. Letting one leg straighten, opening up to the side and the other, coming into your Shavasana. Arms, palms up to receive or down to ground as we feel both shoulder blades on the ground, pressing the lower back into the earth as best as possible, and then finding that still spot, resisting the urge to move as we still our mind and body here and let everything go. This is your time to release and relax. As you're breathing here, notice any tension in your body. I'm just going to get my quote and read it. You're continuing to breathe on your mat. This quote comes from Sunrise Gratitude, 365 morning meditations for joyful days all year long. In a forest, all forms of life support one another. The soil provides nutrients for the plants and trees, which provide shade, oxygen, food for the animals. Even the animals provide important nutrients and help control overgrowth. Everything works in a precious equilibrium. Nature intuitively knows what it needs to thrive, just as your intuition knows what you need. Spend time in silence this morning to tap into your inner wisdom. Everything you need is within. Create space for the answers to be revealed. Take another few breaths on your mat in Shavasana. Relaxing the face. And when you're ready, begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. And you could stay in the Shavasana by pausing the tape a little longer if that feels good. You can draw one foot in, one knee in, and then the other. Maybe a rock on your back from side to side. Rolling over to your favorite side. Nice and gently in a fetal position. Take a breath here. And then gently with one hand pushing into your mat. Everything coming back up slowly. Head can come up last. As we draw our arms out to the side and up. Exhaling them to the heart. Chin comes to chest. As we notice how our physical body feels right now. In our mind, without judgment, notice how it feels. And we'll send this practice of peace, love, and gentleness out to all beings everywhere. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. Thank you so much for joining me today. And if you enjoyed this practice, give it a like. If you would like to see more yoga every week, free yoga, subscribe to my channel, Yoga with Joan Bossy or Yoga with Yoda. Yoda, it's time to go. Say goodbye to everybody. Yeah, good boy. Yeah, you want to say goodbye? You had a nice little nap. You don't have to get up. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye.